Iran will enter nuclear talks with the Trump administration feeling emboldened, and that's the headline from the New York Times that we're unpacking today. Here's the situation. Iran and the United States have reached a preliminary agreement to pause their war. And in the days since the deal was struck, Iranian politicians, generals, and clerics across the political spectrum have been describing it as a victory. A victory for Tehran. That framing matters a lot as both sides prepare to head to Switzerland for nuclear negotiations expected to begin this Friday. Now, let's be clear about what Iran actually went through. The country lost a number of its top political and military figures. Its stockpile of ballistic missiles took a serious hit. And a naval blockade strained an already struggling economy even further. These are significant setbacks. And yet, Iran's leaders are projecting confidence publicly and loudly. The Speaker of the Iranian Parliament, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, posted on social media that Iran had taken, quote, a major step toward final victory. Another senior official wrote that Iranians had shown a renewed spirit of resistance and defeated US and Israeli plans to topple the Islamic Republic. Part of this is almost certainly about optics, presenting a united front at home, where a hardline minority has actually been protesting the agreement as a betrayal. But part of it appears to be genuine. And here's why Iran's leaders might actually believe it. President Trump had previously said he wanted total and complete victory and unconditional surrender from Iran. The terms of this deal fall well short of that. So by that measure, Iran didn't surrender, and its leadership knows it. There's another layer here. Trump himself has publicly praised Iran's current leadership as rational and pragmatic, and he's openly criticized Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu for nearly derailing the deal. That kind of public messaging from Washington is adding fuel to Tehran's confident tone. Then there's the Strait of Hormuz. Under the agreement, Iran is supposed to allow shipping through the strait a return to pre-war conditions. But Tehran has indicated it now intends to charge ships for passage through the strait, something it never did before the war. That's a signal of the leverage Iran believes it holds coming out of this conflict. Mirzad Boroujerdi, an Iran expert at Missouri University of Science and Technology, put it bluntly, Iran is certain to be emboldened by this deal. I cannot recall another instance in which Iran suffered such serious military setbacks yet emerged with what could be considered a diplomatic victory. Iranian security expert Hamid Reza Azizi added that for the first time, Iran's role in the Strait of Hormuz has been, in his words, de facto recognized, and that regional countries appear to be seeking accommodation with Iran rather than confrontation. Iranian negotiators even pushed, successfully, it seems, to have Lebanon included in the agreement, reflecting what Azizi described as Tehran's belief that it can dictate terms binding not only on the United States but on Israel as well. But here's the critical thing to watch. The agreement has only punted the hardest questions down the road. The future of Iran's nuclear program, its stockpile of enriched uranium, what sanctions relief it should receive in exchange for limits on that program, all of that goes to the negotiating table in Switzerland. And Iran is walking into those talks riding this wave of perceived victory. Boroujerdi captured the stakes perfectly. The nuclear negotiations will be the real test of the durability of this arrangement. If tensions in the Strait of Hormuz have subsided by that stage, Trump may find it more difficult to extract major concessions from Tehran. Iran survived a war it arguably should have lost on paper, and now it's sitting down to negotiate its nuclear future with the wind, at least psychologically, at its back. I'm your host, thanks for listening, and we'll be watching Switzerland closely.